conference team, 7 months ago, none of us were able to brace ourselves for the changes that were about to present itself when WHO declared COVID a pandemic. There's no playbook on how to navigate a pandemic. New mandates were implemented in ways that we could have never imagined, and on an hour to hour, almost sometimes minute to minute basis. And with that, it challenged us to brainstorm creatively ways to keep our businesses afloat. It was also really scary to see how quickly the money that we saved up for the past couple of years was able to decimate itself within the next several weeks. Restaurant margins already razor thin. Many of us don't have the luxury of operating on a reserve. So we all made crucial think of your feet decisions that would protect the health and safety of our team and our guests, while keeping our businesses up and running and coming up with ways to counter the racism that was wreaking havoc on our cities. During that time, the weight from the pressure was unimaginable. For me, it was easy to get lost in the stress and uncertainty that each day brought. However, throughout the years and with each project, I've been able to pinpoint down exactly what it is that drives me to do what I do and why I love doing what I do. And what is the ethos that I carry and I want to exude with each project. And that for me, I discovered were mentorship, community, and love. Having these touch points helped navigate and anchor down each day through the hurdles that were being thrown. A little backstory, I grew up in San Diego. My parents signed me up for a K through 8th Catholic school. I was the only Asian, I was overweight, and about a foot taller than all the other girls there. And on top of that, I was the only person that wasn't of the Catholic denomination. I was raised as a Buddhist, so I was also the only person at Mass who was not receiving communion. So there was always a sense of feeling othered, and I remember I always just wanted an older sibling to look out for me, and that's why it ties in with the mentorship. At the restaurant I co-own in the Lower East Side, majority of our front of house team are high school students, juniors, seniors, a couple sophomores, and it's been really rewarding. And honestly, it wasn't a intentional hire, but it just panned out that way, but a decision that I would not change for the world, and it has really shaped where I wanted my career to go towards with any project. So when COVID hit, with our front of house team being high school seniors or high school students, and our back of house team comprised mainly of single Asian women, it was the two most vulnerable sectors through COVID. And so that's when we made the most difficult decision, personally for me in my career, was to furlough everybody. And the idea was that my business partner and I, we would take on the store between the two of us, and any proceeds would first go to the team that was socially distancing at home to make sure that they never had to worry about when their next paycheck was coming in. It was exhausting, like really fucking exhausting. Not only was I running front of house, but at the same time in March, our retail sales spiked 9,000%, which is amazing. But on top of running front of house, emails, hand packaging, writing, addressing, then bringing all these packages to USPS, it was a little too much, but what are you going to do? You got to push through. And I would say it was almost the same as the beginning of a restaurant opening. However, this time you're kind of doing it by yourself. In our industry, we get knocked down and we get back up time and time again. However, I do have to stress that in an industry where we're so conditioned to take care of others, it's so important, and please don't lose sight of taking care of yourself. There's a Chinese saying that along the lines of, you have to protect the mountain full of trees. Without the trees, there will be no fire to burn. I'm sure I paraphrase that terribly, but the general bottom line being, to take care of others, you need to take care of yourself first. And the best gift you can do for others is to take care of yourself. There were so many days I was hitting the brink of mental exhaustion, but I was so lucky to have a romantic partner to push through this pandemic with. Our motto through the pandemic was that we wouldn't go down without a fight, and if we did go down, at least we knew we went down swinging, and we would have as little regret as possible. She has been there every step of the way, lifting me up when I felt like I couldn't anymore, and being the voice of reason, nurture, and love. Our love story has played a vital part of getting through the pandemic together. Our industry overall is going to look fundamentally different. from what it was before the pandemic. But we're going to steer this course together. If the beauty through this pandemic I've seen is how strong of an industry we are. So we're going to get each other ready for what's about to come and what's about to be our new normal. Going through such a difficult and unexpected time has a way of bringing people together. We're all looking for a form of connection. We're now closer to some people than we've ever been in our lives. Relationships with each other is all we have at the end of the day. Our mighty industry has taken over where the government has failed us, and we're going to continue to do what we do best: care, nourish, and love. So when you feel you need a bit of boost, imagine all of us around you and lifting you up, and there along the ride, from coast to coast, from east to west. We're doing this together. In a moment of crisis, you're forced to look inwards, to take a long, hard look at yourself and those you're surrounded by. And I'm very, very grateful to be surrounded by all of you.